What if the turning point for Ferrari is not another wind tunnel upgrade, nor a secret aerodynamic trick, but the split-second instinct of one driver determined to rewrite the team's rulebook? Lewis Hamilton has already bent the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix to his will, vaulting from 12th on the grid to finish a heartbeat from the podium. Yet his biggest fight is not against Red Bull or McLaren. It is against the caution woven into Ferrari's own carbon fibre. Hold that thought, because the next few minutes reveal exactly why the Scuderia now teeters between a cautious future and a bold, Hamilton-shaped revolution. Nobody expected fireworks when Hamilton lined up on row 6 at Imola. 12 cars blocked his path. The Autodromo's narrow ribbon offered few obvious passing spots, and Ferrari's one-lap misery looked set to bury any Sunday miracle. Then the lights blinked out. Inside 12 corners he had diced past traffic, judged safety car restarts with metronomic precision, and by the closing laps he was staring at Oscar Piastri's McLaren, less than the length of one main straight ahead. A comeback like that is never luck. It is instinct sharpened by 2 decades at the sharp end. And as the checkered flag fell, the stopwatch told the sting in the tail. Hamilton was a shade over 1 second from a trophy he still believes should have been his. But how did he fly, while qualifying left him grounded? The answer pries open Ferrari's oldest wound. But that is only the beginning. Strip away the roar of the tifosi, and the raw data speaks with brutal clarity. In clean air, Hamilton's average pace matched Lando Norris lap for lap. His tyre wear beat Charles Leclerc by a comfortable margin, and both pit stops hit their marks to the 10th. The weakness was all wrapped into 60-odd seconds of qualifying, when rear instability and cautious ride height targets robbed the SF25 of bite in the slow chicanes. Hamilton's engineers admitted the race trim setup looked healthy, yet the driver's own telemetry trace shows he carried larger steering inputs through the very bends that hurt on Saturday. In other words, race pace is not the problem. Fear of a bolder Saturday package is. Every sheet of timing paper screams, "Trust the driver," while every layer of Ferrari management whispers, "Not yet." And the next circuit on the calendar magnifies that tension tenfold. Stay with me. Monte Carlo offers no long straights to hide a weakness, and no asphalt runoff to save a misjudged breakpoint. Qualifying here decides 9/10 of the weekend, and Hamilton knows it better than most. 3 poles, 3 victories, and countless moments of millimetre-perfect brinkmanship around the harbour. Yet Ferrari's slow-speed fragility threatens to turn those laurels into lead shoes. Hamilton's solution is daring: stiffer rear bar, more aggressive diff preload, and a mechanical balance that lets the nose bite even if the tyres complain. On paper, that raises brake temperatures and tyre surface peaks, and the risk-averse brains in Maranello see reliability alarms flashing. Hamilton sees lap time. At Monaco, there is no consolation prize for safe. Either you start at the front or you spend 78 laps staring at someone else's exhaust. The British driver is pleading for freedom now because one conservative call could turn the Principality into a public defeat. Riccardo Adami has weathered more than one political storm at the Scuderia, from the Sebastian Vettel years to the sometimes fiery Carlos Sainz radio exchanges. Now he carries Hamilton's feedback line by line into the engineering meetings. Sources close to the team say Adami privately backs the high-risk, high-reward Monaco trim, arguing that tyre warm-up offsets the durability danger if the driver can keep the rears alive on outlaps. He was the first voice on the radio, congratulating Hamilton for each Imola overtake, punctuating the calm with a laughter that sounded almost rebellious. With a single engineer pushing from within, the old walls can start to crack. And at Maranello, little fissures have a habit of becoming earthquakes. No open dissent, no glowing endorsement. Leclerc's public stance is diplomatic neutrality. Off-camera, insiders note his own frustration with Ferrari's qualifying setbacks, yet he remembers past seasons when questioning strategy painted him as emotional. Monaco is his home race. Grandstands will be hue-draped in red and white flags with his crest. If Hamilton's ideas unlock a pole and a win, Leclerc could slip from lead status to supporting act overnight. If they fail, he stands ready to reclaim the narrative of caution. In war, sometimes the deadliest move is holding position while others charge. For now, the Monegasque is playing chess at the speed of Formula One. Ferrari's heritage is a double-edged sword. The same badge that conjures memories of Michael Schumacher's relentless dominance also carries tales of bureaucratic bottlenecks, where an innovative idea must cross more layers than an Italian millefeuille. Hamilton, new to the red overalls but not to winning cultures, believes authority should sit with the person holding the steering wheel at 300 km/h, not 3 committees sipping espresso. Yet Maranello's hierarchy, scarred by seasons of reliability gremlins, still prizes consistency over brilliance. History remembers that Risk moved mountains in the early 2000 noughties, carbon shell brakes, weight-saver gearboxes, audacious pit-stop windows, all gambles that turned to gold. Hamilton is effectively asking Ferrari to rediscover its own daring DNA. The question is whether a 21st century Scuderia dares look in that mirror. A Monaco masterclass would not merely hand Hamilton a trophy, it would tilt the balance of power inside Ferrari for the rest of the season. The Drivers' Championship table shows Oscar Piastri edging clear at the top, Max Verstappen closing fast, and Hamilton already clawing toward the leading pack after Imola. A single pole-to-flag victory could throw him right back into title arithmetic and convince board members that aggressive Fridays pay off on Sundays. Refuse him, and another midfield start could condemn Ferrari to damage limitation mode until the summer break. In modern Formula One, momentum is currency, and right now, Hamilton is offering the team a blank cheque drawn on his own confidence. Whether the Scuderia dares to cash it will echo far beyond Monte Carlo's glittering harbour. In the space of 1 month, Ferrari will either re-embrace the flair that once defined it, or double-lock the gates against Risk. Hamilton has thrown down a challenge as bold as any apex he ever brushed. Give me the tools to qualify at the front, and I will do the rest. The stopwatch at Imola proved the concept. Monaco will test the courage. A pole here could mark the dawn of a scarlet renaissance led by a 7-time champion who refuses to grow comfortable. A missed opportunity, on the other hand, would expose a team still shackled by its own caution. Remember, Formula One crowns bravery far more often than it rewards safety. So the next time you watch the red cars thread the Armco at Sainte-Devote, know that each steering flick might also be steering Ferrari's future. Because in the end, raw pace is just machinery. What truly changes history is the human who believes the impossible lap is waiting, if only everyone else dares to let him find it. Ferrari has always danced with legacy. It's the weight of Enzo's gaze in every design sketch, the ghost of Villeneuve in every daring lunge, the echo of Schumacher in every push for perfection. But legacy is not just heritage. It can also become a prison, one where bold new ideas are filed away for another season, where drivers are revered but not trusted, and where the dream of dominance is dulled by the fear of failure. That's what Lewis Hamilton is truly fighting against. Not just rivals on track, but the institutional gravity that resists change, even when that change is the very thing that could return Ferrari to greatness. If this chapter fails, if Hamilton's insights are ignored, and another race is lost in the strategy room instead of on the asphalt, it won't just be another DNF in the story of Ferrari. It will be a turning point that passed them by. A moment when a generational talent knocked on the factory doors and was told to wait his turn. But if they listen, truly listen, and let him lead the way, even just once, they might find that what they've been missing isn't a better car. It's belief. Belief in the kind of instinct you can't quantify in simulations. The kind that wins races when logic says you should lose. The kind that redefines history, not by following the blueprint, but by ripping it apart. So the next lap around Monaco won't just be about track position. It will be about trust, vision, courage, and maybe, just maybe, the rebirth of Ferrari's fighting soul.